When the M10 Monochrom was announced, that was arguably my favorite digital M camera of all time. ISO performance, dynamic range. Yes, it's only black and white photos that you can take with this camera, but Leica does black and white better than anybody else in my personal opinion. Yes, there's great film simulations from other manufacturers out there, and they can get close to what the final results may be of the monochrome image. But what you can do with these images, how you can manipulate them from underexposure, overexposure to bring out detail, even in really low light situations, no other camera can do that right now. So when the M11 was announced, people thought, okay, there will probably be an M11 Monochrom. How much better can it be than the M10 Monochrom? I've been testing this camera for the past few days. This is a pre-production firmware on this, but final body. And I will tell you that as of the time of recording this video, this has surpassed the M10 Monochrom in all those ways and then some. This is now my favorite digital M camera of all time. Here it is, the M11 Monochrom. So let's get some things out of the way here first and foremost. These are my thoughts and my thoughts only. I am not paid, I am not sponsored for this video in no way, shape, or form. This is more of a first impressions because I do not like to give a final review on a product until I get a production unit available. So I may revisit this in the future, and if I do, I will give you my overall thoughts on that. But I think pretty much everything that I'm gonna be telling you today is what you'll experience when you buy this camera. First and foremost, this is all matte black, scratch resistant paint, very similar to what we saw on the M11, but I feel it's a little bit different. I may be wrong on that, but it feels a little bit different than that black M11. There is no red markings, it is completely stealth, and it looks amazing this way. I'm a big fan of lacquer black paint from Leica MP, for example, but I have to give Leica where credit's due. This is a beautiful stealth camera. Now with the silver lens on it, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. This is the 50 Oppo, by the way, and this is the only version they had on it. But I mean, get a black lens. I can show you what it looks like with a 28 element, and it's just friggin' beautiful. What else is different inside of this? The internal storage. Now, the M11 had 64 gigabytes of internal storage. This has 224 gigabytes of internal storage inside of this camera, which means theoretically you don't even need an SD card. There's one SD card slot in it, but you don't need it. I didn't use it for the few days that I've been testing this out, and I had no issues whatsoever. Read and write speeds are fast, very easy to pull up images, 60 megapixel images, mind you. They are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And yes, you can do the same thing as you did with the M11. You can reduce megapixel size on the images, but look, maximize it. We tried it with the SteelRAM 35 1.4. The images looked really good with 60 megapixels. I'm using it with the 50 Oppo. It looks fantastic. Just keep it at 60 and just enjoy the image quality, okay? Also, ISO performance goes up to 200,000 now. That's right, 200,000 for ISO. Now, you may say to yourself, will you ever use 200,000? So I decided to test that out. And actually, the images are kind of usable, which is crazy because that was one of the things about the M10 Monochrom, which just blew everybody's mind, was that ISO 25,000, even 50,000 were usable. Now we're at 80,000, 125,000, and they are equally as usable. Yes, you can throw some noise reduction software on that, and you can do a little bit of manipulation in Photoshop or Lightroom or Topaz denoise or whatever you want to use. But these images are usable. The dynamic range is exactly what you expect out of a monochrome system. It is awesome to experience. Now, I know this camera is not going to be for everybody out there, okay? This is a black and white only system. And some of you may think, well, look, I'll wait for maybe a Q3 monochrome if that ever comes, or Q3 for that matter, who knows? But I will tell you, and you appreciate the analog vibes that the M gives you. And you have another camera that shoots color and you're happy with that. And if you have the means to afford it, this camera is special. This camera has the DNA of what Leica is about. And the moment that you pick this up, the moment you start taking images with it, you will understand why people love the monochrome system so much from Leica. It's gorgeous to use. It really is. It feels really good in the hands. It's solid. It just feels fantastic. And I absolutely love the black and white images that come from it. Now, these M system cameras are pretty much that. They are quite simplistic. So these aren't long reviews. I don't need to keep repeating myself over and over again. I will just tell you, if you thought the M10 Monochrom was good, the M11 Monochrom surpasses that to become my favorite M digital camera of all time. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on the M11 Monochrom. Big thanks to Leica Singapore once again for allowing me to test drive this. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments section below. Oh, by the way, quick tip for you guys out there. If you're looking to transfer images from the internal storage into your laptop or into Lightroom for that matter, you want to use a specific USB-C cable. I think it's 3.1 Gen 2 thereabouts, or you can actually use the USB-C cable that comes with your MacBook Pro, the latest ones, the M1 Max or M2 versions, or even your iPad Pros. You can use that cable and it will transfer the images. So I just want to leave that for you as well. But that, guys, that's it. Those are my thoughts on it. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. More content coming your way. Take care, stay safe, and I'll chat to you soon.